Thank you again for having me into Network Rail HQ. I'm going to show you how to create a skills-based multi-round structured interview using Hireguide. We're going to use one of your particular roles. Here's the Hireguide page. It's got your hero banner and your logo. So we're going to go to positions, and we're going to create a position with an interview guide. So essentially, we want to create a position. Usually, it will be attached to your ATS. So it would show you the positions that are live here, but here we're going to actually add one manually. So we add the position. It's works delivery supervisor signaling. Okay, there you go. There's a works delivery supervisor signaling that's been scraped from the web. Let's copy and paste in what's needed here in terms of the key accountabilities. So we're going to copy those in, put those here. It's great. And we're also going to copy in the experience, knowledge, and competencies that are needed as well. And that will help us extract the skills for the role. Good. Great. And now we're going to go next. And what'll happen now is it'll start to extract the skills from the job spec, and it also analyze 129 million other job descriptions. So it's going to give us a chance to choose which skills we want to assess in each round and what questions are available to ask for those skills and what a good answer looks like. So we can see here, detected from the job description, we've got these ones, and we've got also the Network Rails focus areas. Everyone belongs, everyday inclusion, everyone home safe every day. Pretty cool. So we can create questions and answers around the cultures and values as well. So let's use safety standards, quality control, managing priorities, resource allocation. What else can we have? Planned maintenance. There, we can take those from there. And then we can also choose some others here in terms of operations. And we can also, let's have a question on both of the values as well. So we'll hit next. Now it will spin up a number of different questions that we can choose and refine down as well. These are situational and judgment-based questions predominantly. We can create behavioral questions. You do want a blended mix. But obviously, when you're looking at skills, you want to anchor to somebody having evidence of them or not. These are the rounds. Now, we've got 5 rounds and we can move around the rounds, or we can delete a round off as well. So we can have as many as you like, and we can label this. So this could be screening, etc. Manager 1-to-1. We can move those there. And then we're going to add some questions. We're just going to look at the screening round, and I'm going to add a question on each of these so we can dig into the actual questions themselves. We wouldn't have all of these skills being assessed in the screening round. These are a series of conversations, but now you know which question against which skill in which round. So let's go into the questions themselves. And on the right is your basket, your checkout, if you like, and it's moved quickly. So we can actually see that it's added some. Can you walk me through a time when you had to manage conflicting priorities while overseeing the installation of a new signaling system? What steps did you take to ensure the project was completed on time within budget? And then why it's being asked? Explores the candidate's understanding, knowledge, and experience managing priorities, and then explore tips. So follow-up questions and things to listen for. Listen for details on how the candidate communicated effectively with stakeholders to adjust timelines and budgets as needed. Pay attention to the candidate's problem-solving skills and ability to adapt to unexpected challenges. And then some follow-up questions as well. Can you provide an example of a challenge you faced during this project? How did you prioritize time? We like that, so we're going to keep that. We might actually want to edit it a little bit and actually get into that specific question in a bit more detail. So we might say, let's ask it in a slightly different way, and it will generate it with author assist. Rather than can you walk me through a time, it says describe a situation. So it's much more um, judgmental rather than the situation of when they've had the relatable experience. We're now getting their judgment on describing a situation where they've had to manage it before. Slightly different. And then the so what here, and then these are the follow-ups, and we can add another tip. Do we want to have a question tip? And we can generate that live, or an answer tip. So what's a good answer here? So immediately in line, we're creating a question about managing priorities, about conflicting tasks, supervising work quality, ensuring compliance with safety standards. And we like that question, so we're going to save it to the right. Now we can dig into a bit more detail here. So we could say, okay, let's look at safety standards specifically. And then we've got two questions to say, well, let's view all safety standard questions. Okay. Imagine being assigned to oversee a work site where recent inspections revealed non-compliance with safety standards due to rushed work leading to signalling issues. How would you address these safety concerns while ensuring the project timelines kept on track to meet compliance? So there's an interesting one because safety, number one operating priority. Look for candidates who prioritise safety as a top concern and demonstrate a proactive approach to addressing the non-compliance issues. So it's actually pulling the cultures and values up as well, and making sure that safety trumps everything, but also managing it in a way that the outcomes and deliverables are still on point. Observe how the candidate plans to implement additional safety measures, such as increasing training or work resources to prevent rush work in future. So a bit of leadership there too. So we like that. We can just hit plus and it'll move to the right here. Add the question. It'll go into the basket here. Now we might want to create our own question. So here, everything's anchored to a skill. So let's create a question on quality control. And what do we want to reveal? So we can put in what we want it to reveal, or we could just auto-generate it. And again, you can choose whether you want it to be situational, judgment, or behavior. Let's have a behavioral question that's been created here, all on quality control. So can you describe a time when you had to ensure work delivered met specific quality standards? Please explain the steps you took to supervise and check the quality of work, how you ensure compliance and standards, and any challenges you encountered during the process. How did you prioritize? So how did you behave? How did you manage it? How did you turn up and embody it? And then look for the follow-ups here and answer tips. Describe systematic approach to quality checks and compliance. Explains prioritization of tasks and resource management for quality control. Shares strategies for overcoming challenges and maintaining safe work practices. So again, we can add that to the right. When that's all done, we've now got a multi-round structured interview that are assessing those. We've got a scorecard that's created, assessing those skills and having those questions put in. So when the interview goes ahead for the screening round, these questions now will be available for the interviewing panel to ask, and they now agree what a good answer looks like. So for the intake with the hiring manager, it's a really great way to align and get a kind of a social contract as to what good looks like. Hopefully that's helped you at a very high level.